placed before the third reading of the ordinance, before the council.
Clear on this, Mayor. Then the water board makes recommendations to the Board of Works, then we make the recommendation to the council.
Well, the water board will make recommendations to the council. The board of works will make recommendations on the wastewater lines.
Okay, understand.
The water board has probably would be on the higher water users. See what effect it would have.
Does it affect the larger water users? So just to look at an analysis of each of the larger water users, what the rates are, current rates, those rates. We can take
Yeah. How many large water users do we have that right now is affected by this?
How many were there? We looked at over 30,000.
Yeah, 30,000 cubic feet. It was
10 maybe?
no, it was more than that.
50, I don't remember. We looked up some stuff last time.
Basically, some large water users never went over 30,000 cubic feet in a month, so I didn't include those. So there, in our prior analysis, there was more. In this analysis, there were less. I would say because of the economy, so somewhere between 10 and 15.
So I've got all that down to legs there.
The ones that currently make it to the highest tier.
Right.
Because you have to look at it each month separately.
I'll make a motion to recommend cancel 5% increase in water rates.
You're looking for a 3-year period.
Do we want to do it for all three, or do we want to address it 1 year at a time? And just like I said, look at people.
Yeah, but
Let's
that's
set goals.
would that stipulation have to be put in ahead of time then? That we would address it each and every year and have the options of.
Probably need that. It takes 3 months.
No, but he said basically you could provide some information where we can do without.
Right. What I've seen done in the past that seemed to work pretty well, if this is the direction you want to go, is to have an ordinance that spells out effective dates and spells out the 5% increase in each of those effective dates. So you would adopt a schedule, but it would be a requirement that just prior to the effective date that the council, based upon the recommendation of the utility board, would has the right to go ahead and reduce or rescind that increase at that
But
point
you
in
still
time.
have to do the 3 year. Because if you don't, if you do 1 year at a time,
Then you
and then
could-
introduce another year's worth, then you got 3 years of dead time, or 3 months of time where you don't collect an increase.
Yeah.
Because of the reading of the council ordinance.
No, I was understanding you said we need to do it on a 3-year basis, but we could set a provision or part of the ordinance that gave the board the option to reduce the 5% if we so found the need.
When you go through the public hearing process, if you make decisions that reduce the rates, that's never an issue. You just can't increase them
Right, yeah.
beyond that. So if you go through the process and the approval process, they have the maximum increase each year, and then you later on decide not to implement all of it, that's fine.
But you did say that had to be put in an ordinance to allow that.
Correct, and you want to put that in the ordinance to,
That would be a stipulation I'd like to see if we're going to adopt a 3-year increase, is to give ourselves the option to address it. At least take a look at it. Have an option.
Is the maximum amount,
Pardon?
is the maximum amount permitted according to ordinance that can be reduced?
And the latter part of that, that it could be reduced if we found some miracle happen next year that our leaders
If you have a
don't
large
have.
water user come into town and use more water,
Yeah.
then we have more revenue. Maybe you have 2 or 3 individuals coming in. That's a larger water user.
So I think that would be a good showing. Maybe a showing only, but at least a good showing to the public that we're trying to curtail a 5%, maybe drop it to a 2. I'd like to see the flexibility, because we all know that you get great increases, they never get dropped. But if we have that stipulation put in there, then I would, yeah, we'd agree with that.
Now, that didn't happen.
I did see that once, I lied.
I think it's happened in some other cities too, for the first time.
Well, it's rare.
I know we got a motion on the floor, but I want to make sure that Rick and Donna and the water company, we're doing what we need to do to let our customers that are in this increase know that we're watching what we're doing. When times are tough, everybody cuts back. Businesses cut back, families cut back, and we got to make sure we're doing all that we can do, not just saying, hey, it's time to raise rates. So
Yeah.
we got to go out and tell the public what we're doing. They can't have the idea that we're doing this just to be doing it.
And, you know, we have an investment in it as well. These assessments are very critical, very important, necessary, and they're expensive. You know, we have an investment in here. We have one of our associates to do this assessment for us. You know, if John looks at the checking account and sees the general fund is not where it should be for our reserve, we have to look someplace. You know, I have spoken to Jeff Smith and Rick Denny. What can you do to cut costs?
This is something that's really pretty common with utilities. Many of the costs that you have are fairly fixed in nature. So if someone uses a gallon less of water, you know, the amount of revenue you lose is greater than the amount of cost that is going to be reduced, and that's pretty good. That's just the nature of utilities.
Right now, it's costing us almost to produce, you know, the water that we did in the 80s. Times are very good. What we're producing now, which is much less. And there's some reductionary figures show that because we're not selling as much water, there's not much cost to do it. But still, the great percentage is still there.
So would we need to have a motion if we were to vote on something?
Well, you don't have a resolution to vote on tonight, but I think what you should do, they've probably done at your next meeting, to form a resolution and present it to the council. I'm not sure if we need a resolution. If we
You
don't,
said we did.
we do.
Yes. If we
Yeah, I
get to the
didn't
point
think
where
that.
we'll have it at the next portion.
Back to Chuck's motion, I guess. The motion need to have that actually specifically mentioned in it.
Yeah, on your next water board meeting, the resolution number will be there for you to act on. But I think what you should do is show your unity on it tonight, what you think, or you agree or disagree. If there's anything that needs to be discussed, worked out, we're all in consensus. So the motion's on the floor, right?
Mayor, are you comfortable that the water company's doing all it can to reduce its costs?
I would like for Rick Denny to approach and explain this.
I can. I'd like to, just let you know, we are doing everything at the water plant to cut costs, save money. From turning our surface water plant off, which is a lot more expensive to treat surface water,
Rick?
running as sorry.